next we welcome Dan from Plusgrade. Dan, thank you. You're a gold sponsor here at HSMAI, the Commercial Strategy Conference, so thank you for your fantastic support. Dan's going to talk to us about traveler behavior, exclusive Plusgrade data, and simple strategies that drive guest-led revenue by offering convenience, comfort, and control.
Hello, come on in, everybody. Tons of seats. No, not tons of seats. This is a packed session, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks. Yeah, thank you all very much for attending today. I really appreciate time. My name's Dan Hiza. I run sales essentially for Plusgrade, the hospitality side of Plusgrade. We're going to get into that a bit, but I'm here just to discuss the upgrade economy, and of course, leveraging everything that we've heard over the past day or past morning, which I love some of the sessions around AI and around upselling and around loyalty, et cetera. But let me do this. I'm going to go click, click. There we go. Okay, so that's me, but I was thinking about doing something a little bit different just to kick things off. So everybody can agree that conferences are awesome for a few things. One is making connections. So I'd like everybody just to turn to their neighbor, introduce yourself, and say, what was your first job in hospitality? So I'll give you 10 seconds to do that. Okay, go ahead. Okay, that was longer than 10 seconds. Okay. Stop. Everybody in hospitality is hospitable. Hey, so who has like a great, oh, nobody's listening. Who has a great story? Whose first job is like the most exciting? Go ahead, what is it? Family business. So you did everything. Okay, so you were housekeeping, front desk, accounting, kitchen, painting, everything. Okay. Sphere.
Bellboy.
Bellboy.
Yeah.
There's a great Who song about Bellboy on Quadrophenia. If anybody knows that album, my favorite album in the world. Please.
Yeah, I studied as a receptionist, GSA.
Receptionist. Okay, well, I'm going to say, anybody else have like a wacky story that you want to share? Go ahead. And if not, so my first job was a dishwasher in a great hotel in the US on an island called Block Island. And what I learned dishwashing is that dishwashers have power. If you don't dishwash, everything stops. But I always dishwashed, and I never threw one really dirty pot out at midnight. Maybe I did. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the upgrade economy, and I want to keep it relevant to you so that you can take some things back home, of course. What's important, though, is I want to give you a little bit of background of Plusgrade so you know who we are, because it is relevant and it does make a difference. Because what we heard up on the session today that was run by Andrew of GHA, which I thought was great, and MasterCard, is that it's the entire journey. And there's something about Plusgrade that can help in this entire journey and help you maximize revenue, but also just increase and enhance guest expectation and guest enjoyment, I should say. So in brief, Plusgrade, many of you probably would not have heard of us. You've probably heard me say that before, some of you. But I bet most of you have used us. And it's because we deliver both two areas across the travel industry. One is upselling across air, cruise, rail, and hospitality. And the other is loyalty, currency, merchandising, or commerce. So from the upselling standpoint, whenever you've flown an airline, so our company got into, like Air Canada is the first, to upsell passengers from economy to business, business to first, et cetera. So we got involved in that 15 years ago. We came into cruise lines about 8 years ago. We're now in about 80% of every cruise ship that's out on the water, from Cunard to Azamara to Royal Caribbean, et cetera. We'll use Plusgrade for upgrades from passengers to different cabin classes. We got into passenger rail. Anybody who uses Eurostar, you'll receive an invite to upgrade just before you depart. That's all driven by us, all white labeled, et cetera. And then we came into hotels about 4 years ago, and we're now in quite a few hotels. But again, it's to entice the guest at the right point with the right offer. And yes, it's all AI and algorithm driven, but the information that we're learning from across the travel industry is key for this because we know the psychology of the traveler during the entire journey, from their looking and booking point of the of the flight to the hotel, to when they, a couple of days before departure, to getting, on site and checking in, to actually, the in-stay stay. But if you've ever received an invite to upgrade from, like most of the GCC's airlines use Plusgrade. So if you've received an invite to upgrade and either buy an upgrade or bid on that upgrade, Fly Dubai, Etihad, Saudia, Air India, that's all done by us, all white labeled, and that's what we're bringing into hospitality. And then briefly, newsflash, on October 1st, some of you may be using Oki as your upselling platform. Plusgrade acquired Oki on October 1st, so now we're bringing the best of the two together. Love the jaw drop, so you must be an Oki customer. Love you. So Plusgrade and Oki are bringing the two together, and I've known the team at Oki for years and years and years, and it really is match made in heaven. So we're going to bring everybody over onto one platform, but it really does power the world's greatest hotels, as far as enticing guests to upgrade their stay. But forget all that. Or no, don't forget that. Remember that, it's important. But let's bring it around to the upgrade economy, and let's talk about just a story. And the story is going to be somebody that we can all relate to. And I'm not going to go to the point of having you close your eyes and put your hands over your heart, but if you wish, you can. But I want to introduce Angie. And Angie, we've all have a little bit of Angie inside of us. Angie owns her own business. It's a marketing firm. It's a marketing rep firm for a hotel company. And she is going on a trip. It's her last business trip of the year. She's like, oh my God, I'm so stressed. I have to make year-end numbers. I've got a budget for 2026. So she's very, very stressed out. But she has a trip coming up to Dubai, or let's call it the Maldives, to the Maldives. And it's a 3-day trip, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But she decides to extend her trip just to take on the weekend and just decompress a bit before the holiday season. So we've all been there, right? And it's something that we can all relate to. Right now, Angie is using her primary wallet. She's booking her flight. She's going to write that flight off to her company. And then her anticipation index is like, I have to go on this trip. It'll be a great trip. But that's where she is. We know that at the point of booking, 84% of the travelers right now, they're spending more on travel now than they were just after the pandemic. And I think all the numbers that we saw regarding business coming into UAE or into GCC, it's amazing what's been happening. We also know that like at point of booking, like over 60% of the folks will, if they can look and book a room with a view, that they're willing to do it at point of booking. But they're also going beyond the room at point of booking. So that's just known. However, we look at that as a primary wallet, and guests will have a budget in mind when they're first booking their trip. And then after they've booked their trip, they have something called the secondary wallet because they already forgot what they paid off on the MasterCard that we heard the gentleman say up on stage today. 2 weeks before departure, Angie gets a text from her airline, and let's call it Maldives Air. So she gets the text, and it says, Bing, hey, you've been offered to upgrade, and I can buy it, or I can bid on the upgrade, and I can either buy it with cash, or I can buy it with miles. Again, this is something that Plusgrade does. So she looks at that, and she says, all right, I love this, and if I can upgrade my flight, I'm going to do it. I'm going to burn my miles with it, because I have so many miles on this flight that it makes me pretty excited. If I can win it, it'd be pretty amazing. So her anticipation index goes up a wee bit. So yep, still have to do business for 3 days, but I can't wait for this flight. And we know that anticipation builds. So as you are as we're all frequent travelers, or maybe not frequent, but like me, but it does build. Like before your trip, you get pretty excited about it, and you start forgetting about what you already paid. But last minute, like the amount of purchases that happen a week before, a couple of days before the travel, they go up, and they go up quite dramatically, depending upon, I guess, the traveler, the type of traveler, the country they're from. Like there's a whole lot of psychology behind it, but also like who's willing to look and book an upgrade or bid on an upgrade in that case. And the power of the secondary wallet is critical here, because I would have booked my flight 2, 3, 4 weeks before. I've already paid off the credit card. I didn't even know what I spent. Maybe I wrote it off to my company because it's a business and leisure trip, but I'm going to pay for my upgrade myself with my own miles, and I might pay for some different services as I extend my stay over the weekend, which many of us do. And then a week before arrival, Angie gets another bing, and this bing is actually from her hotel. And it says, oh, cool, I can actually buy and upgrade it into a suite. I can place a bid on that, or I can just, I can either use miles or use my own money. So in this case, she's like, yep, I'm gonna, so I've already used my miles for my flight upgrade. I'm gonna place a bid, for $500 upgrade per night with my own money, because that's what I want to do, because I need this to be a trip of a lifetime. And that, again, is when her anticipation is still growing. It's not quite there yet because she still has work to do. But we know that passengers and, well, guests are very, very active, more active on like apps and that side of it. They're more willing to listen to an appropriate upgrade offer just before departure on a flight or arrival to a hotel. And we also know that guests know what they want. So again, many of you probably know this, but early check-ins, late checkouts, spa treatments, premium room upgrades, rooms with view, club access floors. These are the 6 main areas where Plusgrade, where our data shows this is what guests really want. And just a show of hands, like does everybody here, who has an upselling program, pre-arrival, at check-in, during stay? Does everybody pretty much have an upselling program? Yes, yeah, no? Yes, so many. How many would say it's awesome, it produces more money than we know what to do with? Thank you. So 1, because no, more than yet. But you can always do better, and the one thing I heard was make a decision to do better with what your current programs are. But one thing from a psychology standpoint, if you have an automated solution, then that automated solution will tell the guest, hey, you just won. So you placed a bid on my flight, and you've won, so we're going to burn your miles. And I'm so excited I've won that I'm going to buy Fast Track at the airport. Again, you can do that through right technology. And I'm also going to go back to the hotel app, and I'm going to buy a bottle of champagne for the Friday night once my work is done. So now her secondary wallet shows miles plus $1,500 for the upgrade plus $150 for the bottle of champagne in a room. But guests value certainty. Like, they love to know that they've been upgraded before arriving at the airport. The same thing is true. They love to know that they've been upgraded to a higher room category a day before they depart, before they get to the hotel. Different systems do it differently, but if I placed an offer for a room upgrade, or if I bought a room upgrade, I want to know that I have it. And it also increases and just helps just with like TripAdvisor ratings. So if you tell the guest a day before arrival, hey, you've been upgraded, or we can't wait to see you here, we're going to give you, your bottle of champagne is going to be in the room that night, they're more excited, because we're all more excited a day before departure or arrival. So the morning of the trip, Angie's sitting there, she's already packed, she's flipping through her iPad, she's okay, well, I'm ready for my business trip, the Sunset Cruise looks nice, so why don't I buy that, or I can place an offer on it. But she does that, and again, it's off their secondary wallet. She gets to the airport. It's a frictionless, smooth flow through the airport. If only every single airport was as smooth as well, Dubai's or others. But overall, because she bought Fast Track, she had a great time, getting through airport, getting to her seat, and now she just has to focus on her first couple of days of work, and then she's going to have a nice weekend. Gets to the hotel. At the hotel, and this is where different systems can work differently, but in this case, the hotel, she asked for a late checkout, but the hotel said in their message, okay, we're going to have to let you know if we can accommodate your late checkout on Sunday afternoon before your flight home. But she gets to the hotel, and they say, yes, we can accommodate your late checkout because we have availability. That can also be AI generated and automated. But overall, what you want to do is just keep these important touch points happening to this guest as he or she is moving through the process of coming to stay in your hotel. Because at that point, they're going to keep wanting to buy stuff. Because they're like, I love this, I'm getting what I want, they're communicating with me, it's clear, it's smooth. We know that over 69% of guests would likely upgrade for a better view as they're checking in. Some hotels have awesome upselling programs at front desk, others don't have any. But I implore you to look into it and see what is possible, because with the right upselling program and the right front desk agents, there's a lot of money to make, but you can also just satisfy the guests because they're open and willing. And similarly with upgrading to larger or better rooms at that point as well. So finally, Angie gets through her 3 days of work. She's excited about it. Her perfectly chilled champagne arrives at 5:30, just as she asked for, just as she bought a week or two ago. You see that her secondary wallet is there. Her satisfaction index is now at 10. She's happy as all heck. And we know that, again, guests are ready to spend if the timing is right. So the guest has to receive the message at the right time. A lot of hotels do this manually. Automate it. It makes life so much easier. And again, based on the data that you have from your CDP, from your PMS, from your loyalty programs, you're able to touch that guest at the right time with the right offer, with curated offers based on their loyalty level, based on what they've previously done, based on just the data that you have on that guest. And compensity to spend is high. Finally, she takes her trip, the Sunset Cruise on Saturday night. She's happy. That was a business trip of a lifetime. But if you look at the additional spend that she went through after her initial point of booking, in this case, she burned her miles on the flight upgrade, and she spent over $2,000 additionally, but she's happy about that. And imagine if you could do that for, well, every one of your guests, maybe not every one of your guests, but if you could do that for 10% of your guests, or 5% of your guests, or 20% of your guests, the numbers get big fast if you put in an appropriate upselling program. And again, her satisfaction index is high and off the roof. So what do smart hotels do? Well, first, they leverage what the airline and cruise and, well, hospitality industry has done for decades. And it's around understanding the psychology of the guest at the different touch points, at the different times that he or she is looking, booking, anticipating stay, getting ready for it. If you send a message at the wrong time, it'll just get buried. It's got to be at the right time. It's got to be the right message. It has to be on brand and appropriate for that person. And then that is just critical for making more money, as well as making the guest satisfied. And indeed, as Angie's heading back to the airport, she gets a bing from the hotel saying, "Thank you so much for your stay. We appreciate your business, of course, and can't wait to see you here. And as such, we're going to give you a voucher for 10% off next time you come next year." And she's like, "I love this idea. I'm going to do it." So that's what happens in the upgrade economy. We've all been there. I really appreciate your time. If you have any questions, please let me know. But it does all add up. And just think a little bit differently when you get back to your hotel as far as upselling is concerned, because it does work well. Any questions, please?